What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. Today, I'm doing race picks for the 2022 Ambetter 301. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. This week in the NASCAR Cup Series, heading to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile for the 20th race on the NASCAR Cup Series schedule, and the Ambetter 301. This race will be a really good indicator for the championship race, as New Hampshire is very similar to Phoenix International Racing, both the same length of track, and these tracks probably have the same configuration as Phoenix. While the tracks are not 100% the same, they are both 1 mile, and a lot of teams say this track is going to race similar to Phoenix. So this race is going to be major for a lot of teams, and it's also beginning to start being crunch time for the playoffs, as we only have 7 weeks to go until the regular season championship ends, and there's only 3 full-time spots left available for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, and then we have a full 16 winners. So let's get into picks. Before we jump into picks, let's take a look at the weather for this weekend. So the weather for this weekend, unlike last year, the weather is looking a lot more promising. So it's 87 degrees is the high, 62 degrees is the low, and right now only a 20% chance with partly cloudy skies. Weather is looking really solid. It's going to be pretty decently warm at New Hampshire, but not incredibly warm. So I'm really excited for that for sure, and weather looks much more promising compared to last year. So now, let's get into picks. For those who are new to the channel, here is how we do picks on the channel. I do 2 suck picks, 2 drivers I think are going to struggle, who've been generally doing well, who are on a bad streak, I think are going to continue a bad streak. 2 underdog drivers, 2 drivers who have not had some great runs, so I think are going to have good runs, or 2 drivers who have been in underfunded equipment, who I think are going to have a good run. And I do a winner's pick as well, and then I do 5 drivers to watch out for. As like I mentioned, I've got 5 drivers to keep an eye out for, along with the picks. So let's get into it. Who are my 2 suck picks for this weekend at New Hampshire? My first suck pick is a guy who's actually been generally really good here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway when he drove for another organization. However, this year, this guy has generally really struggled. I know he had a massive points penalty that really affected him, but this guy has just been absolutely pretty much awful, except in a couple races this year. Brad Keselowski. Brad Keselowski may have a decent run this weekend because he does have a lot of experience here in New Hampshire, and it might help him, but Brad Keselowski, like I mentioned, has just generally struggled. It doesn't matter what type of track we go to, even super speedways. He just has not been up front contending for victories, and it's been extremely disappointing to see. I just don't see the momentum going back in Brad Keselowski's favor. He has to win at this point to make the playoffs, and in all honesty, I don't see Brad Keselowski making the playoffs. He's been outperformed by Chris Buescher a lot this year as well. I see Brad Keselowski, unfortunately, not making the playoffs this season. My next driver that I think is going to suck, this guy has started off this year extremely well. He had 2 wins in the first 8 races of the year. But since his win at Martinsville, this guy has only scored 1 top 10 finish, and it's in 9th place at Sonoma. Since the win at Martinsville, he's only also had 2 or 3 top 15 finishes. William Byron. William Byron has generally struggled in the last 12 or 13 weeks. Yes, I know William Byron has definitely had a lot of bad luck this year. There's no doubt about that. But William Byron just has an absolutely horrendous this year, and has just had nothing go right for him. He needs to get the consistency back to be a contender. At this point, I really see him being right now a championship contender, and I think he's going to struggle since this track is very similar to Gateway. He was really bad at Gateway last time we were there, and I'll see him being good here this weekend at New Hampshire. And now we're going to jump on to the underdog picks for this weekend at New Hampshire. Who are my underdog picks? My first underdog pick is the guy who won the race the last time we were here, and generally was really fast at a similar track, Gateway, the last time we were there. I think he got a top 5 finish and ran top 5 all the day there. And this guy is going to a track that he's been always really good at, Aric Almirola. Aric Almirola really needs to have a major performance, considering he's below the cutoff line currently at the moment. I think he has that really strong run. He could win this weekend. There's a good chance he does win. But I think he'll at least potentially get a top 10 finish, or even a top 5 finish for that matter. I think Aric Almirola will be a threat to contend for a potential win this weekend here at New Hampshire. And my other underdog pick is a guy who I've been really high on over the last 5 or 6 weeks. This guy has had so many top 10 and top 15 finishes, and he definitely could make the playoffs this year. Not on points, but he needs to win a race to probably make the playoffs at this point. I think this guy could have a chance to be an underdog to win. Michael McDowell. Like I mentioned, Michael McDowell has definitely been really performing at an extremely impressive level this year. He has scored the most top 10s he's ever scored in the season. He's led the most laps ever led in the season. And at Gateway, was running top 10, led a ton of laps here, and was like the 7th or 8th fastest car in that race. Has scored a ton of points. I think Michael McDowell will definitely be a threat to potentially have a great run this weekend at New Hampshire. And now let's go into the winner's pick. Who do I think is going to win the Ambetter 301 at New Hampshire? This race has been really dominated, but think about this last year. The guy was catching the winner. The guy who won last time was being caught by the go. I'm picking to win this weekend. This guy has been generally really fast on these type of tracks over the years, has been really good in the Xfinity Series. He's never lost an Xfinity Series race here, and has also won a couple truck races there. This guy, I think, has got a really good shot. Had the race gone all the way to the end of full distance, I think this guy could have beaten Eric Almirola. I'm going with Christopher Bell to become the 14th different driver to win the season and lock his way into the playoffs. This race, I've had circled for Christopher Bell all year because Christopher Bell, like I mentioned, has been generally really good at tracks like this and is really, really fast here last year. I think that experience is going to come into play, winning here a lot, and I think Christopher Bell is going to be your winner on Sunday at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. I think Christopher Bell gets it done. So now let's jump into ones you need to watch out for this weekend at New Hampshire. Who are the drivers you need to keep your eyes out on? The first driver you need to keep your eyes on is a guy who currently sits second in the championship standings and was really dominant at Phoenix before he had issues there. Unfortunately, pit road really cost him an opportunity there. And then he was really fast at Gateway but had a flat tire. But this guy nearly came back and won. Talk about Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney, I think, is going to be fast. Team Penske, generally at this track, has ran really, really impressive and really, really well here. And I think that Team Penske performance is really going to come into play. I think Ryan Blaney is definitely going to be a threat to win this weekend at New Hampshire. It could also become a 14th first-time winner of this year as well. The second driver you need to keep your eyes on, it seems like this guy is getting into it with everybody. But it does not matter what type of track we go to. This guy is always really, really fast. He's been running really good. He has 2 wins so far in 2022 and could get a potential 3rd win in 2022. Ross Chastain. Chastain, like I mentioned, it seems like he's getting into everybody. He's had a ton of drivers that are really angry and pissed off. It is definitely be a perfect track to potentially get some payback. But this guy, I think Chastain will be very quick. I think he'll have a potential speed to beat Christopher Bell in the race and will contend for a win this weekend at New Hampshire. My third driver you need to keep your eyes on is a guy that's been kind of really struggling over the last 4 weeks. His best finish in the last 4 races is 20th. However, I think Kyle Busch, who is my third one watch out for, he's going to turn around this weekend. Was one of the best cars at Gateway, really strong there, and I think that experience from Gateway and how good he is at New Hampshire, he was probably going to be a contender to win in New Hampshire if not for what happened at the beginning of the race last year. I think this guy will be a fast. Kyle Busch will be quick this weekend at New Hampshire. My fourth driver you need to keep your eyes on is the current points leader in the NASCAR Cup Series and has finished no worse than second in the last 3 races and has won 2 of the last 3 races, Chase Elliott. Now, Chase Elliott generally has not been great in New Hampshire throughout his career, but I do believe that experience that Chase Elliott has is really going to come into play, and I think he'll be very, very fast. I know Gateway did not go great for Hendrick in general, but I think if there's any Hendrick driver right now that I think is going to run well, I think Chase Elliott is going to be that guy. I think he's going to be fast and will contend this weekend at New Hampshire. And the final driver you need to keep your eyes on is a guy who won at the last time at a track very similar to this at Gateway. And is very been at points inconsistent, but he's also been good this year, Joey Logano. Joey Logano definitely's got to work on getting back consistent if he's going to want to win a championship. But I think he starts turning the season around getting back into more of a consistent form starting this weekend. Joey Logano's a good enough driver to get it done, and I think he'll absolutely be a threat to win this weekend at New Hampshire. Track very similar to Gateway, going to be a contender, and also good at Phoenix last time too. Will be quick there. So, those are going to be the race picks for the Ambetter 301. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support me on page so all listeners below over that, and comment your picks below for this weekend at New Hampshire. Tell me your 2 suck picks are. Tell me your 2 underdog picks are. Tell me you think is going to win. And tell me the guys you think are going to be the ones to watch out for this weekend at New Hampshire. Let me know in the comments below. Tomorrow on my channel, I should have a NASCAR news video on the channel. We'll see how much news we have to discuss over the next couple of days. But we definitely will have some NASCAR news dropping here tomorrow. Thursday, I'm not entirely sure what's going to be coming out on the channel. And I've got some other content that's on the way that you'll be seeing here in the next couple of days. Make sure to check that out. So anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time for some more great, awesome NASCAR and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.